guys, I'm going to read you a book called The Deck Files. This body's not big enough for both of us. Chapter 1. Have you ever known somebody who was really annoying but you just couldn't get rid of them? That's the way I felt about this old lady I met. Probably her being dead made her even more annoying. Oh, did I mention she was a ghost? Well, she was. I guess I should begin at the beginning. My name is Zach. I'm 10 and a half and I go to the Horse Highway School for Boys. That's New York City. Ever since my parents got divorced, I've lived half of the time with my dad. He's a freelance writer, which means he gets to work at home a lot. The time I want to tell you about started when Dad was writing this article about the new Madame Chatou's wax museum. There's been a Madame Chatou's wax museum in London for years. In it are wax dummies of famous people both dead and alive, and they look amazingly lifelike. At least that's what people say. The new Madame Chatou's is in Times Square. Dad took me there one Friday evening for a special preview for reporters and VIPs. I was pretty excited. The night we went, they were holding a seance as a publicity stunt. A seance is when a bunch of people get together in a dark room and try to get a ghost to talk to them. Before the seance got started, Dad and I looked around the museum. There was wax dummies of just about every famous person who ever lived. Kings, queens, generals, baseball players, movie stars, murderers, you name it. Not all of the dummies were finished. Some of the kings and queens were still without hats. But most of them were done. They stood in the dim light, staring out at you. They looked so real it was spooky. The seance was being held in a small theater in the museum. On the stage in the theater was a long table with a bunch of people sitting down around it. I guess we were the last to arrive. Ah, there you are, my dears, called a lady at the table. She wore a big turban with ostrich feathers sticking out of it, and a jacket with lots of beads on it. We were beginning to fear that something dreadful had happened to you. Sorry we're late, said Dad. Well, come up on stage and let's get started, called the lady with the turban. The dead are dying to speak us. I giggled. I thought she was kidding, but she wasn't smiling. Neither were the other people at the table. There were 4 of them besides the turban lady. There were a guy with a bushy white beard, the 2 ladies with white hair and pink cheeks. There was a man with pasty-looking, yellowish skin who looked kind of dead himself. Not that I've ever seen dead people. I want the young man to sit next to me, said the feathered lady, smiling at me. I shrugged and sat down next to her. I don't usually like to sit next to ladies who wear turbans and feathers, but I was too polite to refuse. Hi, I said, I'm Zach, and I, of course, am the famous Madame Poopa. Madame Poopa held out her hand to me, but it was bent down at the wrist, so it was hard to shake. Sometimes in movies, queens do that. You're supposed to kiss their hand. I wasn't about to kiss anything. I grabbed her wrist and shook it. Her skin was ice cold. On the table was a crystal bowl and a huge wax candle. Are you ready to speak with the dead? She asked me. She was smiling, but I could tell she was serious. I guess so, I said. I bet you've never spoken to the dead before, said the pasty-looking guy. He had kind of a fake smile on his face. I guess not, I said. What about Wanda? Said Dad. Oh, right, I answered. Once this really bratty poltergeist trashed my dad's apartment, she talked to me. Her name is Wanda. What's Wanda? Poltergeists don't talk, said pasty-looking guy. This one did, I said. Not with a voice. She spelled out messages on the ceiling with peanut M&Ms. He's telling the truth, said Dad. I was there. How marvelous, said one of the white-haired ladies. Well, why peanut M&Ms? We were out of the plain ones, I said. All right, said Madame Poopa. Now let us begin. She nodded and closed her eyes. The lights in the theater got very dim and they went out. The crystal ball started glowing. I don't know how she did that. Let us all join hands, said Madame Poopa softly to us. Join hands and clear our minds. Dad took one of my hands, and Madame Poopa took the other. Her hand was cold as a frozen TV dinner. That really creeped me out. Also, she smelled like garlic. This is Madame Poopa, she said in a louder voice. You are calling to spirits on the other side. Is there anyone on the other side who would like to speak to us? There was no answer. I was pretty sure that what she meant by the other side wasn't Russia. It meant the spirit world. Anyone at all on the other side who would like to chat, she said. Please come forward, my dears, and make yourselves known to us. There still was no answer. We are here, 7 of us, eager to speak to the spirits of the departed, said Madame Poopa. Anyone at all who cares to speak to us, please give us some sign. Maybe they're all at a movie or something, I said. Everybody but Dad gave me a dirty look. Shh, said the Madame Poopa. Sometimes it takes them a while to get through to us. It's quite difficult for the dead to communicate with the living. There still was no answer. Then I heard a weird high-pitched noise. It was coming from Madame Poopa. I wanted her to stop, but I was afraid to tell her. Then something even weirder happened. I felt a kind of tingling from Madame Poopa's hand, then something that felt like a slight electric shock. It reminded me of the time I accidentally electrocuted myself in a science class and I started reading minds. Then I heard a ghostly voice. Who dares to disturb the spirits of the dead? It said. It was the voice of a very grouchy old lady. It had a strong British accent. But the weirdest thing about the voice was it was coming from me. Chapter 2. Zach, is that you? Whispered my dad. Please don't horse around anymore, son. The people here are very serious about this science. Dad, I whispered, I'm not horsing around. And then without even knowing I was going to do it, I said in this great grouchy British old lady voice, and we shall thank you not speak to us unless spoken to. I mean it, Zach, said Dad. This is no joke. These people are here to try to communicate with the dead, and I'm going to write about it. If you keep horsing around like this, we'll both have to leave. I said, Dad, I swear I'm not horsing around. I said, I don't know what's happening, but it's nothing I am doing. Honest. It's telling the truth, said Madame Poopa. It isn't something Zach is doing, at least not on purpose. But the voice of that grouchy old British gal came from Zach. I said, I know, I'm sitting right next to him. That grouchy old British gal, I said, or somebody inside me said. That grouchy old British gal. You dare to speak of her highness as that grouchy old British gal? The voice is coming from inside of me? This was really freaking me out. How could this be happening? I think I know what's happening here, said the guy with the bushy white beard. A spirit of the departed has chosen Zack. He'll speak through Zack. This is wonderful. Your son must be very beseeching, said Madame Poopa to my dad. She turned to me. Are you beseeching, my dear? No, I said, but I did read minds one day in science class after I almost got electrocuted. And there was another time I talked to dolphins by ESP. Then that's it, Madame Poopa told Dad. Your son has the gift. He's channeling a spirit from the other side. Usually that sort of things happen to me, but for some reason, it's happening to Zack instead. This is a great honor. Zack, do you realize what a great honor is? Seize this infrared jacket, said the voice inside of me. Who is speaking through Zack? Asked Madame Poopa in a creepy voice. Please, spirit, tell us your name. The Queen does not answer questions, I said in the weird British voice. The way I answered made it sound like answer. The Queen does not answer questions, I said in a weird British voice. The way I said answer made it sound answer. Pardon me, Your Highness, said Madame Poopa. I did not mean to offend you. Pray tell me, which queen am I speaking to? Which queen? Which queen? Queen? We are Victoria, you nincompoop. Queen Victoria of England, said the guy with the bushy white beard. Hey, this is great. I've never met her before. This is indeed an honor, Queen Victoria, said Madame Poopa. What can we do for you, Your Majesty? What can you do for us? You can take us to the bloody WC. That's what you can do for us. The what? I asked in my normal voice. The WC means water closet, Madame Poopa whispered. In England, the water closet means the toilet, Zack. She wants you to take her to the bathroom. But I don't have to go, I said, a little embarrassed. Well, maybe she does, said one of the white-haired ladies. Say, maybe I could take her. I'd like to visit the restroom myself. How could you take her, Mildred? asked the other white-haired lady. The Queen is inside of Zack, not you. Good point, said Mildred. We do not care who takes us, I said in the Queen's voice, but somebody had better take us right now before we have an accident. What's this we business? I asked again in my normal voice. She's speaking the royal we, explained Madame Poopa. All kings and queens speak that way. They use we instead of I. Are we going to the bloody WC, or are we going to have an accident? I shouted. Dad, what should I do? I whispered in my normal voice. I guess you better take her to the bloody WC, said Dad. Chapter 3. Once I got down off the stage and out into the lobby, the restrooms were right downstairs. I trotted downstairs and pushed open the door of the men's room. A man about my dad's age was drying his hands at the hot air blower. What is this place? I shouted in the Queen's voice. The men looked at me, startled. It's the men's restroom, said the man. What did you think it was? I know it's the men's restroom, I said. It wasn't me who asked you. It was the Queen of England, named Victoria. The man stopped drying his hands and slid quietly out the door. This is not proper WC. This is a men's restroom. Why have you taken us to a men's restroom? Because I'm a god, Your Highness, I said. Take us to a lady's restroom. But I'm not a lady, Your Highness, I said. I can't go in there. Another man walked inside and headed toward the urinals. Do it now, I said in the queen's voice. The man looked nervously in my direction. I will not go to the ladies' restroom, I said under my breath, and that's for sure. Go to the ladies' restroom immediately, and that's a royal command. Being careful not to look in my direction, the man walked quickly out of the room. Well, I'm citizen of the United States of America, I said, and I don't take commands from anybody but the president and my dad. We shall see about that. And then, even though I just about decided I had to go to the bathroom after all, I felt my legs start walking me out of the room. Hey, I said, what are you going? I tried to head back toward the urinals, but my legs wouldn't let me. I smacked my head into the door on the way out. Stop this, I said. I don't care if you're a queen. I am not taking orders from you. My leg carried me through the lobby to the ladies' room. No way am I going to the ladies' room, I said. No way am I going through that door. My legs headed right for the door of the ladies' room. Just before they carried me through it, I reached out and grabbed the doorway on each side with both hands hung on tight. Let go of this doorway immediately. No way, I said. A stuffy-looking lady walked up to me. She was some kind of museum guard. And may I ask, what are you doing, young man? She asked me, trying not to go into the ladies' room. I said, I beg your pardon, said the lady. I'm trying not to go in here. I don't want to go into the ladies' room. Well, I should hope not, she said. This is too tiresome, I said in the queen's voice. Return us to the scenes immediately, if not sooner. I was pretty relieved to hear myself say that. When I got back to the scenes, I got straight to the point. Madam Pupa, I said, I'd really like you to get this queen out of me. She's a royal pain. You don't want her? Said Mildred. Then give her to me. No, me, said her friend. I'd love to have Queen Victoria inside of me. Ladies, said Madame Pupa. One cannot simply give spirit away. A spirit is not a bologna sandwich. A spirit decides whom it wishes to inhabit and when it wishes to leave. Then we all want spirits of our own, like Zack, said the bearded guy. Yeah, said the pasty-looking guy. I want one too. People, listen to me, Madame Pupa said. You think I have spirits in a bag and can just pass them out like lollipops? I do not. Besides, if anyone deserves to have Queen Victoria moved into her, it is I. You know, Zack, if I were you, I'd realize that an honor it is to have a member of royalty inside of me. I tried to get used to her. She won't stay forever, you know, and when she does leave, you may wish she hadn't. Yeah, right. That's the end. If you want to know more about this book, please read it. It's really fun. Then, thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video. Please subscribe my channel. Bye.